Hello, sir. Are you Muslim, sir?
Yeah, I'm Muslim.
Please come here, sir. We're looking for sensible Muslims, so maybe you're one of them. So,
Yeah, I've seen you many times. Depends on your question. I'll give you a sensible answer.
Sure.
If it's a silly question, I'll refuse. to
questions are always sensible. Now,
answer. I
if
disagree.
you...
I've met Christians who are not so sensible.
Sure. Now, as you are a Muslim, I am a Christian.
Yeah.
Clearly, of course, Islam and Christianity disagrees on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, to explain away the disagreement, Islam's way is by saying that the Bible is corrupt
Yeah.
and that the Quran is perfectly preserved.
Yes, that's true.
And by using this claim, they say, look, your book is anyway corrupt, my book is good, and therefore believe in my book. That's the claim. Let me ask you, do you have any evidence to suggest that the Quran is not corrupt?
Yeah, because it's been preserved from the beginning of time.
What's the evidence? You're just rephrasing the claim, but
The
what is the evidence?
Because there isn't any evidence to prove that it has been corrupted.
Okay, but listen to me carefully. You don't make a claim because no one else has challenged you so far. As you can see, I have challenged you right now and I'll provide evidence after evidence. I'll provide.
Okay.
But before that, I'd like to understand, do you have any positive evidence
Yes.
to justify a claim that the Quran is not corrupt? Do you have any positive evidence?
It depends how you take that evidence. Because somebody whose heart's sealed and it is not going to be able to take that evidence no matter how much
Let's
points
start.
you make
Let's
in
start.
order to show. Okay.
Let's start.
For
What
example,
evidence have you got?
For example, the language with which the Quran was revealed in. At that time, the Arabs, when they heard the Quran, they wouldn't be able to. They would know that this is not something that the normal everyday Arabs of the time would be able to producing. The literacy level was higher than that of poetry. It sounded beautiful. It was giving a clear message. It was giving guidance.
Maybe I'll clarify the question.
Yes.
Maybe you didn't understand the question.
No, I understand the question.
I'm asking about preservation. I'm not asking if it's a good literary work or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you may claim that it's a good literary work, but that's a different claim.
Okay.
My question is whether it is a good literary work or bad literary work,
Yeah.
has it been preserved?
Has it been preserved?
That is the question.
If you go to the old manuscripts, the old first manuscripts, which have been preserved, you will find one in
So use the
Birmingham,
first
you find-
manuscripts
Yes,
and tell me,
yeah.
explain to me
Yeah,
how it is
so
preserved.
The text of the early manuscripts, and you compare to the most earliest transcripts that you can find, to the text that exists today, there is no difference.
What is the evidence are you using? What is the evidence are you using?
The evidence is just what exists. So if you go to the ones which exist from back in history,
But
and you go to
name
the
me
ones
some
now-
manuscripts.
So, for example, the one in I think there's one in Birmingham, in the Museum of Birmingham. There's a transcript there. There's some in Turkey. I don't know the exact whereabouts, but I'm familiar of the one in Birmingham. It's one of the oldest dated manuscripts.
Yeah, the oldest dated manuscript in Birmingham is called what is called Birmingham manuscript
Yeah.
or the Mingana manuscript.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that manuscript or not? You're
Well,
just making things up as you go along.
No, I'm not making things up.
But do you know? You didn't even know the name properly. But do you know?
I did say Birmingham. You didn't
Sure,
say
sure.
much. You didn't say much different. You just said Birmingham manuscript.
Arab
that's-
Mingana manuscript.
Mingana, that doesn't matter.
It's a
That's
technical
irrelevant.
name.
It's
a
irrelevant.
technical name. You don't know. That's fine.
no,
Birmingham manuscript. Tell me about the Birmingham manuscript.
All I know is that the text that's within there, the Quranic verses that are in there, and compared to the Quranic verses that exist now, there is no difference.
That's a claim. But talk to me about raw details.
It's been checked.
Do you know how
It's been
many?
checked. It's
Do you
been
know
checked
how
by
many?
historians. They wouldn't keep a Quranic.
I'm not asking
Yeah.
someone else. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Do you know,
I'm not
for
a
instance?
historian. I'm not a
That's fine.
historian.
I'm
I'm not a
saying-
scholar.
I'm not.
It's not my job to go and check the Birmingham
Sure.
manuscript.
Please listen
Okay,
carefully.
yeah.
My point is not that I'm looking for a scholarly,
Yeah.
expert commentary right now. That's not my point.
You said, how do I know?
Yeah,
I know
and
based
therefore,
on-
please listen.
yeah.
And therefore, I'm not looking for a scholarly commentary.
Yeah.
My point is, for you, for your bread and butter religion, you depend on the claim that the Quran is not corrupt and that the Bible is corrupt. That's a bread and butter claim that you have, without which you as a regular Muslim would have a problem, theological problem. And that is where my question to you is, not necessarily a scholarly commentary, but a preliminary, any detail. Do you know, of course you mentioned Birmingham manuscript, that's a good starter. Do you know anything about the manuscript? More details?
In what sense? In what
No,
sense?
how many pages are there?
No, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't
So may I please comment to you, when you don't
But
know.
that's irrelevant. Whether I
It
know
is
or
relevant.
don't know.
It is
The fact
relevant.
is that
I'll tell you.
No, I'll tell you why. Let me explain why. we Muslims work together based on trust, and consensus of evidence. If I have millions of historians and scholars saying one thing, for me to go to Birmingham Museum and to verify it myself, it doesn't make a difference.
What scholar has given an expert comment based on the Birmingham manuscript to say the Quran is preserved based on the Birmingham manuscript? What scholar has done this?
I don't know.
There's none. I can tell you there's none. Because I can tell you why. I can even tell you why. The entire Birmingham manuscript is just about 4 pages. Back to 4. That's all. There's nothing much, which in itself is a problem. Because any Quran Birmingham manuscript is meant to have come from the Quranic heartland, and therefore to even see fragments as opposed to the full manuscript. My name is Arul.
Arul, can I interject one thing? The fact that there's 4 pages and your question about the preservation is irrelevant to me, because it's not going to change my faith. My faith is not based on just the preservation of the Quran. It's not just the preservation.
Let me ask you this very
based on multiple.
My question is,
which one is the preservation of the Quran? Because Allah Himself says in the Quran that this book will be preserved to the end of time.
But listen to me carefully.
That in itself is enough for me.
So you think Allah has said that?
Yeah, Allah.
But that would be true only if it is preserved. Maybe some Tom, Dick and Harry. Please listen.
Okay.
Maybe someday.
I agree.
That is where preservation is a fundamental question you need to get to. You don't have to necessarily. I'm not saying every Muslim has to have a scholarly commentary. I'm not suggesting that. But you need to at least have some level of understanding, because unlike a Christian who is not dependent on whether the Quran is corrupt or not, we depend on historical incidents, which is what we examine. Death, burial, resurrection of Jesus. And that is where I'd like to go. So Birmingham manuscript can't be used. Have you got any other manuscript that you can use to justify that the Quran is preserved?
We also believe in historical evidence. We believe on the statements of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that have been verified by his companions and have been traced down in history with an authentic chain of narration. So his sayings, his statements have been, which are the hadith, as you most probably know. We also believe in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
But please, I want to stick to this topic.
Okay.
Quranic manuscripts. I want to stick to this topic.
Yeah, I got you.
Do you see the? Don't go anywhere. Google isn't going to help you. Please listen.
No, it's a book.
But please listen. Listen. Look at this.
Yeah.
Do you see that graph?
Okay.
Do you see the heading of the graph?
There you go. Okay, you can read them all the manuscripts that we have. This is from the first one. This is all listed manuscripts, and they all corroborate the Quran that we have today. So you can just read it out.
Okay.
Arabi 328a, first century contains 45% of the Quran. All of these are codices that contain the Quran, the same Quran we have today. So you can read it out to him, and
there's numerous.
If you listen carefully, first understand the question, then try to answer the question.
There is no question. I'm giving him sources to read out to corroborate the fact that we have Quran today, and we have first and second century manuscripts.
But what I am telling you,
I'm not engaging with you. I'm just giving him sources.
Sure. Maybe he's not engaged, so maybe I'll speak to you. The question is not whether you can read some statements.
Yeah.
The question is not whether you can read English, read some document from the phone. That's not the question. The question is whether there is information that can justify. And that is where you need to listen to the question first.
Information that can justify what?
I'll show you something.
Yeah.
But so far I've asked a few things. Yeah. And at Birmingham you couldn't give more information. That's fine enough.
No, I did, but you
didn't say anything more apart from
I didn't
the name.
need to say more. That's not.
You need to say more.
I don't base my belief on the Birmingham transcript.
You said you depend on the scholars. You said you depend on the scholars who have studied it to establish that the manuscript demonstrates that the Quran is preserved. That's what he said.
Those 4 pages, yes.
I'm asking you, which scholar has done that?
I don't know.
You are non-Muslim sources.
Which means
non-Muslim is giving non-Muslim sources.
He doesn't listen to you, sir. I asked you which scholars, you don't know. In other words, you haven't given me information at all so far. All that you've said is you don't know. All that you've said so far is that you don't know.
That doesn't prove.
So I'm going to give you scholars that attest to
your question.
No, I move away from the camera.
But you're coming to me. No.
I apologize.
Don't apologize. Just move, please.
All right. I just
You come to me. You come close to me. Don't.
Yeah, but I'm
Don't
just saying I moved to a
yeah,
loaded
come,
camera.
please, come close to me, please.
All right, sorry.
If you can, please. You know, you're not even giving me space
All right,
to move.
sorry.
If you can say that, that's
Yeah.
what I talk. I'm speaking to you.
I want to get the
But you're
camera.
coming close to me again.
All right.
Look where are
No,
you?
but he's close to you. He's close to
Look,
you.
look, there is a camera here. I'm having a conversation here. You suddenly moved in. Now to you, sir. The question is simple. To you, he said he doesn't want to talk to me. That's what he said.
I want to talk to you now.
Now, look,
I got
I'm
you,
speaking
man.
to
I
you.
got you, man. Don't worry. I got you.
So to you, sir, to you,
Yeah.
if you want to say, look, I've tried enough, but I couldn't, and I want to move on,
No,
you can.
no.
But until then,
it's not about that.
I'd like to wrap.
Don't try and say I couldn't, as if you have got one up on me, because what you say doesn't shake or break my faith.
Sure. I understand Islam is a brainwashing system.
No, I
Without
understand that you've been
evidence,
brainwashed.
He wants me to engage with
So let me. Don't touch me.
What did I touch you?
You're very.
He didn't touch you.
Look at you.
I'm
What are you
trying to
doing?
listen to the conversation.
Don't touch me.
I'm
What are you doing?
listening. I'm listening to the conversation.
What are you doing?
I'm listening.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, I'm
You
listening.
come into me.
I'm
I can't even
listening.
move.
Don't move.
No, I'm only listening. Speaker's
I
corner.
can't even move.
I'm scared. Go away.
I can't even move.
No, but it's speaker's corner.
I can't even move.
All right, sorry.
I can't even move.
All right.
You're putting me under false arrest right now.
Oh, sorry.
Don't
mean to.
Don't touch me.
But I'm saying I'm just trying to listen to the conversation. I'm
I
sorry.
can't even move.
Yeah, but you're turning your back to me.
So to you, no, I'm speaking to you.
He says he wants me to engage.
He's got the
Listen to me
evidence in
carefully.
his
I'm
hand.
speaking to you.
He's got the evidence.
Do you have a brain that can process information?
to engage. He doesn't want to
Please
engage.
listen. Please listen.
He said,
I'm speaking to you.
I have more information. He's going to engage.
Please, Muslims don't cause trouble. Sure, to you, sir. So we were speaking about. You're coming into me again. What is wrong with you, Abdullah?
I'm just trying to listen to the
What is wrong with
conversation.
you? Please, sir. Don't move into me. Hey, what is wrong with you?
I'm trying to listen to the conversation.
No, don't come into me and please don't. Give me my space. Second time. Excuse me, sir. Please give me my space. Thank you very much. Please give me my space.
Yeah, you have to engage.
Please give me my space, Abdullah. Yeah. Trying to make sense. Trying to make sense. What is the problem?
I haven't moved.
No, if you
I'm
please,
not moving.
so if you please give me some space. Don't be criminals.
Why don't you go to back to your country? and stop
All right,
being
all right.
Why
So,
you don't stop the people cooking up cow shit and
okay,
and burning their wives?
if all Muslims,
Calm
Calm
down. Giving some fake.
if there is any sensible Muslim, if there is any sensible Muslim who is sensible ones would listen to the statement first and respond. The ones who don't even listen to the statement first, by definition, are not sensible.
Nobody engages with him.
If there is any sensible Muslim, I am willing to have a conversation with you. But for a conversation to happen, the sensible Muslim must know that there is such a thing called personal space. So I would ask the sensible Muslim to ask all Muslims to give me my personal space and stay away. It's a simple request. As the mafia ummah that you are, if you can make sense, I understand that you are part of a mafia gang. Instead of demonstrating that you are part of a mafia gang, if you want to prove your salt, don't touch me. It's not a question, it's a statement. Don't touch me.
He engages with Muslims who don't know their
To
material.
you,
Now, once
stay
anyone
away
goes
is
that
my only
close to
statement.
With material, all of a sudden he doesn't want to debate.
Stay, no,
He never did.
stay away is the first point. To all Muslims, stay away first.
Shouting is not going to help you.
Give me my personal space is the first point.
You pay rent.
There you go. Let's go.
All the rest of the Muslims, if you respect this gentleman as your representative of your confused mafia gang ummah, then the rest of the people, if I could request you to step back, move away. Step back. The rest, if you step back and move away. Sorry again.
Just trying to understand the question you're saying.
Yeah, sure. But if you give me some space, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everyone, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So,
What is the question?
all right. We were in the middle of a conversation. About whether the Quran is preserved or not. This gentleman came in between, and Abdullah now wants to know what the question is.
A few moments later.
And so, my dear friends, there are a number of problems with the Quran, with the claim of the preservation of the Quran. Number one, who began to write the Quran? Who before Muhammad began to write the Quran? Question number one. Question number two, why did the early Muslims have just a portion of the Quran as their entire Quran? Why? That's question number two. Question number three is, in relation to the earliest of manuscripts, why does it take centuries before which you arrive at the earliest complete manuscript of the Quran? So clearly, when you put together all of these evidence, there is no reason to think, I was having a conversation with you earlier, there is no information to think that the Quran has 114 chapters. There's no reason. There's no early. So please come here, explain.
Evidence. He just told you about it.
He ran away. He didn't show me anything. He ran away because he could not show me anything. Do you know any material? No, do you look at this? Please, check this out. Check this out. One second. Well, just 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Can you see this?
Yeah, what about it?
Check out the website. Islamic-awareness.org/Quran/text/MSS/Hijazi, where they list out all the early manuscripts from the first couple of centuries or for many decades after when this was written.
So what's your point?
Please read this for me. Can you see the first manuscript, for instance? He quoted, for example, Mingana 328a.
Yeah.
Can you see the red bar?
Yeah.
Where does the red bar stop? The second one, here.
The second one.
Yeah, 32a, Arab 32a. Where does it stop?
I think 2025.
Yeah, 25. Why would there be a Quran which only has 25% of what you would call a Quran? Why do they read only 25% Quran as the Quran?
But he said that there was Quranic manuscripts that existed from the first century.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
So look at this list. This is, Masir. Dawa Wise channel.
Yeah,
You know them, yeah?
Yeah.
This is their website, Islamic-awareness.org.
Okay.
Masir, Masir, Mansoor.
Mansoor, Mansoor, yeah.
So look at you see all the red bars?
Yeah.
Check carefully. This is 100% by the way, yeah? This is 100.
100, yeah.
Can you see? You see 100, yeah?
Yeah.
Does any red bar touch 100? Does any of the red bars touch 100?
Not on this graph here, no.
This is their graph.
Yeah.
This is the
But
graph of...
That brother was just showing you.
He didn't show me anything. He
did
said
show
he
you.
showed. One second.
Yeah.
If I did this to you, hey, look, I have manuscript which is 100%. Have you seen? I showed you. Have you seen?
He showed me on his phone.
No. This is my phone. I'm going to do what he did. Have you seen? I showed you. Have you seen? I showed you. Have you seen?
No, you just glanced.
Yeah, that's what he did. He did something like this. I was hoping.
He also quoted what they were.
Yeah, but he can go. I'd like detailed. I wanted to say. I was reading out. I took the trouble to read out the entire URL, didn't I? Islamic-awareness. I did that. I did that even twice in the debate. That's giving a proper reference. He said something and he said, "Hey, look, I'm showing And look, I showed him, and this is what he did.
So what do you want from him? What do you want from
I
him?
was hoping, once he finished his round, I was hoping, before I start,
Yeah.
maybe you were rushing, and therefore didn't take the time to show me properly, like I did to him 2 times. This is a bar chart. You can comprehend a bar chart from a distance. But if you show a name from a distance quickly, I can't comprehend. You need to show it. Give me time to read it properly. That's what you should do, which he didn't do. So I was going to ask him, before you start my time, can I please see what you were trying to show me? I understand perhaps you were in a hurry and therefore you couldn't show. But at least could I see? That's what I was hoping to do with him. But clearly this is some TikTok fellow who doesn't know how to engage in a long form conversation. You know how the children are, TikTok. Similar. He's a TikTok fellow. You know how they are.
I don't know
Attention span deficit. That's his idea. He shows something and he expects everyone to shout out takbir. That's what he does. And so he thinks.
Why don't you debate Mansoor, who you said this website?
I've been running after Mansoor for how long now? Mansoor runs away like a coward.
There must be a reason. He doesn't.
I'll tell you what the reason is. This is detrimental to Islam.
Mansoor proposed for him debate and he become a coward.
Right. I'll show you the video. I'll give you a reference. In Operation Stephen,
Yeah.
the video that he's referring to, he said Mansoor proposed for debate. Yeah? You can see that video. I can give you a reference, the full video. What happened essentially was, I went to Mansoor and said, Mansoor, can we have a discussion or debate? He said, oh no, I'll give you 19 topics. And you know what the topics were? Is Christianity suited for the UK? And in a similar other, is Christianity this, is Christianity that, and so on. I said, you know what, one of these I am willing to take. But can we just say, instead of saying is Christianity, can we just do, does Christianity or Islam do good to the UK?
Yeah.
And then he ran away. Do you think that's a sensible topic to suggest?
I don't know the context of what happened. So
No,
I
please
can't
check
say.
that video.
Yeah.
My channel is called Operation Stephen. One of the latest videos. I think it's from maybe 2 weeks ago. Check out how he runs away and you can see. So these fellows are liars. You have been sensible so
Mansoor
far.
has been here for numerous of years. I don't believe that he would run away.
Oh no, he runs away all the time. Please check out multiple times in my video. I even every time today these days when I have a thumbnail, I have a road runner as part of the because he has been running away big time.
That's your opinion. Other people will say that you're running away.
You check it out.
Okay,
You
I'll-
check out the
I will
video
check
and
it,
decide.
yeah.
But you have been, in my mind, in interactions today, you have been the stable man. And you even gave me time to understand what my problem was with that other fellow. This is what he did. And I was hoping, before he starts the clock, can I see the reference properly? I was hoping to ask him.
So what will happen if you were to see it?
Yep.
If you were to see it and then you were to verify it, and there is 100%.
There is nothing.
No, but if
yeah,
you do find it, then what will you do? You'll change your position on this.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, so if you listen, if there is an early 100% manuscript, and by early I mean in the first couple of decades or whatever, 100% manuscript, because Islam won. Remember, that's important. Islam Muslims weren't persecuted. This is why you have the caliphate right after Muhammad.
What about corroborated
But please
evidence? If there's multiple, some saying 24 verses, some saying 30 verses, and they're different verses.
I'll ask you a simple question.
Would that be sufficient for you?
Sure,
To
I'll
believe
ask.
that is-
Sure, I'll ask you a simple question.
Okay.
If someone burns the Quran today, what would you do? What do Muslims normally do?
They would be able to write it again
No,
verbatim.
please listen.
Yeah.
This is a very practically relevant question. If someone were to burn the Quran in one of these streets, what would happen? You know what would happen.
Well, the people who are ignorant, they would get aggressive, which they shouldn't do. Yeah.
And the reason for that is very simply.
Because they lack knowledge, they shouldn't do
Please
that.
listen.
Yeah.
The reason for that is very simply that the Muslims, for them the Quran is sacrosanct. They don't even touch the Quran without washing their hand and that sort of stuff.
Can I
But
tell
please,
you one of the ways?
I'll finish my point.
No, let me know. Before I forget.
One of the ways they recycle manuscripts is by burning.
No, one of the ways that we can destroy the Quran, for example, if we have a Quran that's damaged and some pages have been taken out, one of the only ways that we can remove that Quran is by burning it. So somebody who has even enough knowledge to know, he wouldn't be annoyed. But the reason why people get aggressive is because people do it to show and express their hatred towards Islam, and some Muslims get very passionate about that, and they say that, and they to show it as a display that this Quran is false by burning it.
Regardless,
that makes people aggressive because that's basically being disrespectful. And that's the intention of them being aggressive.
Regardless-
I don't agree with being aggressive in the sense that being violent, but yes, we would definitely speak out against it.
Regardless, we can agree that if someone were to burn the Quran, non-Muslim, the Islamic community has a negative response. How much more if the Muslims themselves, not even in the 21st century, but in the 7th century, for some strange reason, destroyed 70% of the Quran. Not the full, but 70%. Because the first of the manuscripts here, around 30% is what is left. The first one is around 50% is what is left. What happened to the remaining 50? If it was the Muslim who was destroying, they would have destroyed the entire thing and reproduced a full copy. Why were they destroying this? It's a serious question I'd be asking. Especially because even if non-Muslims do it, you get angry. And why would the second one be only 30%? You know what I mean? So in other words, there is... Especially because you are the victors. Imagine the Quran being burnt in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. You will be in prison or whatever. Yeah. The point is very simple. Given the fact that Islam had continuous control going up to the time of the colonization in the recent past, the Quran was in safe hands, in Muslim hands, for about a millennium. Yet, the earliest of manuscripts are of this form. It is worse than this, as a matter of fact, the full story. I think, I didn't hear him properly, and that's what I wanted to show him properly. Yeah. So I wanted him to show what he was trying to show me properly. I think he was referring to Sana manuscript. I could be wrong, but I was trying to confirm.
I think he did say that.
I think it could be Sana manuscript. You know what the problem with Sana manuscript is? Guess where Sana manuscript was acquired from?
I don't know, you tell me. Didn't he say Medina?
I didn't even, that's what I wanted proper information. He just rushed through. No, I think he was giving a name. He was munging together multiple words without knowing.
Medina attached to it, then most likely it's Medina.
My dear friend. But I think he also said Sana, so I don't know what he said. My problem with what he said is that I have got no clue as to what he said because he didn't take the time to show me, to let me read, or for him to clearly articulate. He just munged together a number of words, names, without knowing who they are, just because he found them in a PDF. That's what he did, which is what TikTok people do. So God bless TikTok fellows. But now coming to you, what I did, can you see? The point is, if he was referring to Sana manuscript, which he might have, which he might not have, I don't know. If he was referring to Sana manuscript, which is one of the earliest of manuscripts of the Quran, guess where Sana manuscript was acquired from? Clearly
like
in Sana.
Medina, like he said.
No, he is blue. I don't know what he said.
You tell me
Sana manuscript was acquired from the city in Yemen called Sana. You know
Okay.
the city in Yemen called Sana. That's where the Sana manuscript was acquired from.
Okay.
That's the city.
Okay.
Do you know where the manuscript, where in the city it was acquired from? Could you guess?
I'm not well researched into this
It was
topic.
somewhere in Islamic control.
Yeah.
But could you take a guess?
What? Where in Sana?
Where it was in an Islamic property. I'll give you it was in a mosque. Sana manuscript, one of the earliest manuscripts, which I'm sure it will be
What's
there.
your point? What's wrong with that?
It was acquired from a mosque.
Yeah.
Do you know where in the mosque it was acquired from?
No, I don't. I
It
haven't
was
researched.
acquired from a loft. It was acquired from the loft of the mosque.
What's
Do you
your,
know?
What's your evidence of that?
I can show you. Well, I'll make a couple of more points and then show you the evidence. Okay. Do you know who even recognized that to be the Quran?
No, I don't. Like I said, I haven't done research.
Okay.
You can keep asking me questions.
Sure.
But I haven't done,
Instead of questions, maybe I'll give you the story. Very simply, Sana manuscript was acquired from this.
You can give me the story, but I'll need to verify it.
Sure.
because
And then I'll show you.
Yeah.
Sana manuscript was acquired from
You'll show me, but I'll still need to verify it myself.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But let me begin by telling the story, and then you can verify. It was acquired from a loft. Number 2, of a mosque. Number 2, it was clearly initially seen by Muslims, Arab Muslims.
Yeah.
Guess what? They couldn't even read what was there. You know how much they couldn't even read what was there? They didn't even know that was a Quran. They didn't even have a clue. So he said whatever he said, mumbling whatever, some manuscript name, whatever. I don't know what he said. But the point is, the Arabs of Yemen who were managing Sana mosque were acquiring this manuscript, they didn't even know what this manuscript was.
Yeah.
They couldn't even read it to an extent to be able to confirm.
Surely they would know whether there's Quran or not.
You read, this is where,
Yeah.
in scholarly circles, there is something called provenance. When people study a manuscript, they don't study the text alone. They also study the history of the actual manuscript. Where did it go, why did it go, and so on. Which market. This is where, when you read about some manuscript, they'll tell you it was sold in this market and that market, and some fellow.
The Quran was
and the point is,
the Quran was committed to memory. So surely they would know.
But listen carefully.
Yeah.
You heard this fellow half-baked TikTok fellow's argument. He didn't speak about oral tradition at all. Yeah, committed to memory. He didn't, because he knows that argument won't stand. And I can, when we have a long conversation, I can tell you that argument will also not stand. Oh, the only argument which could even begin having some persuasion is talking about the manuscript. And what I can say, based on the manuscript, we have strong evidence to suggest that no one had a clue as to who wrote the Quran, when it was written, and at the early times, how many chapters were there, how many times was it revised, who did what to it, why did it end up in places like the lofts, and why does it have text that people can't read today. It was a Western scholar, a couple who actually read that manuscript and told Arabic Muslims. They commended to the Arabic Muslims and they say, look, this is not some silly manuscript, this is the Quran. And then the Arabic Muslims, because these Western scholars had studied some historical texts and so on. So the point is, the TikTok gentleman, I don't know, but when you go, if you have any contact with him.
No, I don't. First time I met him today.
But you are marvelous.
No, thank you.
You listen.
But I like.
You have to verify.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I
verify.
can.
Verify.
Just 1 minute.
And like I said, my basis of belief is not just on the preservation of the Quran.
No, everything is important. Every little detail is important. And your basis better be on preservation of the Quran, because that is the main argument given.
No, it's one of them, and I do believe it's preserved.
But don't believe when you don't know. When you don't, so I'll give you a simple
So
example. You can read this, sir. You can read this out, yeah. And sorry, when you read history, yeah. Can you see? Can you see what I said to be true? Great mosques in Sana, construction workers renovating.
What do you have?
Sana manuscript. This is Sana palimpsest. I don't know if he was talking about the same or not, but Sana palimpsest. And check this out. Check the brief history. In the attic, came across large quantities of old manuscripts and parchments, many of which were deteriorated, not realizing their significance, because they didn't know. The workers gathered up the documents, packed them away into some 20 potato sacks and left them on the staircase. Then the president of Yemeni Antiques Authority realized that potential importance. He couldn't read, he couldn't identify that this was the Quran. He just realized the potential importance. Maybe there is something to this. And Allah sought international assistance. Why? Well, if the Quran is so preserved, he should have been able to read it and confirm that it is the same text, which he could not. This fellow, read, please see who this is. Not you, you're a regular gentleman, sensible one, but clearly this gentleman, president of the Yemeni Antiquities Authority, he was an archaeological expert, yet could not read. And he wants international assistance. See who came, managed to interest a visiting German scholar, who in turn persuaded the West German government to organize and fund a restoration project. The preserved fragments comprise Quranic and non-Quranic material. So, and then it goes on to give you details of, Jerd Puin, and I think his wife was also involved in the process. So, long story short, if you study the evidence carefully, which I've showed you.
I've got a book on this, and I'll go back home and study
Please
it.
do.
Yeah.
The ultimate question you need to ask is, what is the evidence to confirm that the Quran is preserved? That's the key.
Okay.
Not whether we have some fragment here, fragment there, whatever. Because, and the reason,
I'll read that book.
and the reason it is important, is because the primary argument that Islam gives to say, even though the Quran contradicts, the Islam gives to say that the Quran is the word of God, even though it contradicts the Bible in almost every conceivable way, the primary evidence that they give is, hey, look, yours is corrupt, ours is, preserved. That's the primary argument. And if that argument is false, you can figure out.
Many verses in the Quran go and actually agree with what's in the Old Testament as well. So it's not all about
which
fully
verses?
Like, for example, historical stories of
Which ones?
Of which prophets existed, for example. We believe in Moses, we believe in Noah. There's many similarities. But I'm not saying.
I'll tell you a
that
simple story, simple point.
Yeah.
The Quran says all the prophets of the Bible
Yeah.
killed non-Muslims. In the Quran's mind, all of these were Muslims. Yeah, all of these were Muslims in the mind of the Quran.
The prophets killed who?
Just to
Yeah,
simplify,
yeah.
according to the Quran, all of these prophets were Islamic prophets. Adam was a Muslim, Jesus, and that sort of stuff. According to the Quran, all of these people, Adam, Musa, whatever, all of them killed non-Muslims because they were non-Muslims. You will not.
Where does it say that in the Quran?
Surah Al-An'am, for example, if you read Surah Al-An'am, it will give you the entire story. Surah 7 and Surah 6 will give you
All
the
of the
history.
prophets. So who did Adam kill?
The
Adam
Quran,
was a prophet of Allah. Who did he kill?
please.
Yeah.
I am not saying it. I am not saying it. That's exactly my point. But the Quran says that the Islamic Allah systematically did this. He got rid of non-Muslims, and that is why Islam commands judgment of non-Muslims even today. The first book I've written is the coming Islamic takeover of the West. It's a book I've written, and you'll see plenty of the Quran there. You can acquire a copy. If you email, my channel name is called Operation Steven. You are a sensible man. I'd even invite you to come join our Thursday live stream.
Okay.
We can have a similar conversation.
Okay.
Choose this particular subject and go through.
I will go through it because one of my friends actually.
Yeah.
He's half Palestinian. He's not really a friend. Somebody who I knew. He's half Palestinian, half English. He's written a book on this very exact subject, the preservation of the Quran.
Yeah.
And I have it at home.
Sure.
I will read it from front to end.
Yeah.
I will come on your.
As you can see, when I speak to people such as you who are willing to listen, my intent is not to put you down. That's not what I do.
Okay.
I really don't do.
Yeah.
But people such as the TikTok fellow who comes, who does what he does and goes away, I clearly communicate to the world that this is what they're doing. That's not.
My intention is also not to put you down.
Completely agree.
But
and I
if
respect you.
yeah.
I respect you for that.
Yeah.
And therefore,
but-
for me, you don't even have to be concerned. Hey, look, I haven't read completely the book, and maybe I'd invite you to join even the next Thursday, even if you read part of it. Just we can keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Ultimately, my pursuit is for the truth.
Yeah.
I have learned the Quran. I've studied the history of the Quranic text.
Okay.
And so we can have a conversation.
Okay.
And I won't be forcing you. I'll just be giving you information. You can process the information. And for example, I can also show you information like that.
As long as I have the opportunity to also
verify.
Verify and also
Give argument.
to give
if you
arguments
give,
based
no,
on-
I go by logic.
Yeah.
If you can convince me
Yeah.
the Quran is preserved, I say, oh, yes, that's true. But when I'm showing the information I'm showing, I'm not convinced. If anyone calls this as preserved material, in my mind they're insane. Now, of course, people like you don't know, and you have been as Muslims made to say things that you don't have evidence for. But at least
by you saying that, you're saying that I would say any sensible Muslim, if it was to be asked, do you believe that the Quran is preserved? They would say yes. So you're telling me to say that you believe that all the Muslims are insane?
Yes, anyone who says something without having evidence is a false witness. You should be wary of
No,
them.
but you have to be very careful with your words. You just
What is
said that the entire Muslim ummah, because they believe in this, they are insane. You don't understand the wording of it.
Insanity, believing in things for which you don't have evidence, is the very definition of
insanity
insanity.
is meaning madness.
Yes, when you believe in things,
Yeah.
where, for example, if I stand here and say, hey, look, there is a gorilla which is standing here,
Yeah.
or there is an elephant,
Yeah.
and if you ask me, well, what's the evidence? That's the very definition. Please listen.
yeah.
But please,
No,
but
but
please,
that is very
but please
different
listen.
to somebody
But please
believing-
listen.
Yeah.
Please, and then respond. So believing in things,
Yeah.
especially when asked for evidence, when you can't provide evidence,
Yeah.
is the very definition of insanity. And we don't like that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine walking down the street and someone's showing up next to you and say, hey, look, I am the king of this nation. Why don't you bow down to me? What would you do? If you know he's not King Charles, what would you do? You say something is wrong and you move away.
I wouldn't even bow down to King Charles.
Sure. Well,
No, I only bow down to God, to Allah.
yeah. Are you a citizen here?
Yeah, I'm a citizen here. There's
would
a
you
difference
say-
of bowing down and
Sure.
prostrating, and difference of
Sure.
bowing down
Would you
as a respect.
would you say God bless the king? Would you say God bless the king?
God bless the king?
Yeah.
Why do I need to say that?
That's what, you know.
I don't feel. Yeah, there's national anthem. I don't believe that. Yeah,
You don't believe in the anthem?
I don't believe that I need to say it.
But please listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I believe it exists, but there's no need for me to say it.
So you don't subscribe to the anthem?
No, I don't subscribe to the anthem.
And you're a citizen here?
Yeah. How is that? That's not illegal. It's not.
I'm not suggesting. I'm just one level. One. So you don't believe that God should bless the king?
I said God guide the king.
You think God should guide the king?
Yeah, he should guide the king to Islam. And in fact, the King Charles has been in the past very close to becoming Muslim. Very close.
I know. No, even today he's a little bit unstable. I completely understand. That's why he does what he does.
No, many years before he was unstable, before his health deteriorated, he's always had respect for Muslims. He's always.
King Charles doesn't have a clue about Islam. Shall we put it this way? King Charles doesn't understand.
He has very limited knowledge. Yes.
Like you also don't know.
No. What do you mean?
Well, you didn't know about the manuscripts. You didn't know.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't know much about Islam. I still know a fair bit about Islam.
My dear friend. Okay. Please join our Thursday live stream.
Yeah.
If you have a conversation, you will soon find out. You didn't know that all the prophets were meant to be killing people and so on. You didn't know.
It doesn't say that though.
But when you see, you will quickly have to decide that, hey, look, I don't know the Quran. You should.
No, I do know the Quran. Because where does it say that all the prophets killed?
Sure.
Show me one verse where it says all the prophets killed.
I can. When you join
what you're doing is you're making your own analysis, your own judgment based on certain instance where the prophets may have killed when it was necessary in the acts of war.
That's not true.
That's what I feel.
That's not true. That's not true. The Quran defines what Islam is. One of the fundamental definition points is that the Islamic law gets rid of non-Muslims using the Muslims. That's one of the fundamental DNA elements of Islam. You might not have known.
What Allah actually does say is not to get rid of them, to invite them to Islam. To invite them. That is the core principle, because the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, I have come to convey the message.
Sure.
So, and we, as we
My
being
dear
Muslims,
friend.
so before it comes to killing, and killing is only done in a context where there's a war, where you're being harmed, where you're being oppressed. If someone comes and attacks you and your family in your home, and the only way that you can prevent them from doing that is by killing them, you would also kill them. Killing is only allowed in instances. We don't kill just for the sake of killing. This is
my dear friend.
Yeah.
You don't understand history. This is the problem.
I do.
Please let me speak.
Yeah, go on.
The problem with you is you have taken on your brainwashing. But the good thing with you is that at least you're listening now. That's a good thing. But the problem with you is
I haven't taken on any brainwashing. I've done my own research, my own reading.
So Muhammad taking over Hijazi.
Yeah.
Was Hijazi owned by the Muslims prior to that?
No, it wasn't.
He took over someone else's land.
It was a takeover by preaching, by people accepting, not by force.
Hijazi wasn't taken over by force?
Only when there was a war and it was a justified war, then yes, it was.
And
yes,
so
yes.
I'm now focused on the justification.
Yeah.
Non-Muslims don't want Islam.
Okay, and they come and attack Muslims. They come and harm Muslims. They come and invade their homes. They come and prevent them from their worship. Obviously, if someone is
you're not letting me finish.
No, but
I don't know, for some reason maybe now you're. That's fine. You know what? Join our Thursday live stream. Thursday, Operation Stephen.
Operation Stephen. Okay.
Please join. Let's go through the history. Not propaganda, but actual history, where we can go through the details here. And I'll demonstrate to you that the Muslims did terrible things to non-Muslims right at the start and not the other way
I'll
around.
demonstrate to you that they didn't.
Try.
And it was all any harm that they did was justified.
Try when you join.
Wasn't defense.
Try when you join. So you will be able to. What's your name?
Abid.
My name is Arul. Operation Stephen with a PH.
Okay.
STPHE. Please check it out. Thursday, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
Yeah. Join and let's have a sensible conversation. Yeah. Thank you much. Good to see you. God's blessings. Thank you much. Yeah. No, he's a lovely man. A lovely man. The only lovely man today.
The only one.
The only lovely man today.
So he's gonna become a Christian today. No, hold on. Why? We made a bet. I will show you where Allah misses the Trinity. And you said it doesn't
No,
exist.
I've already had a look at that. I'm not going to say.
No, you did. I'll show
Come on
you.
the stream and tell us.
What happened there, Arul? I'll show you now. So Allah misses the Trinity big time.
We need to go, yeah? We, unfortunately, brother, we need to go right now.
Yeah, I
But,
also need to go to the shops.
Sure. Thank you. But Thursday, I've asked him to come on the live
Okay.
stream. But lovely to see you. God's
But anyway,
blessings.
he was saying I was telling him Allah missed the Trinity.
Yeah.
So he can't be all-knowing. So he was
The
saying
Islamic Allah doesn't have a clue. Every mistake all over the place. Okay. Sorry, we need to go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, friends. God's blessings. Thank you. Bye.
Well done, Arul.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. God's blessings. Bye.